Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft and perhaps Jonathan Kraft will get together somewhere, conference room maybe. Do you do that on site or is that one of those off-site meetings? Is it a pizza party, Wiggy? Or
I don't think so. I think it's
no food.
No, I think there's probably some food,
coffee and pastries.
Not a lot of food.
That's a cheap way to do it.
Because how long you think this meeting is? Don't you think Robert knows what he wants to do?
If he's firing him, it's a quick meeting. If he's not, and then they have a lot to talk about. So I think that Bill's right that it's going to probably be a few meetings. I think the meeting today, if they are choosing to stay together, if Kraft is not firing Bill Belichick, then that is going to be a long meeting today. And I bet it's going on right now.
But what if it's a trade where Robert wants to get some compensation for Bill, and he says, where are the places you'd like to go? Because that would be much more difficult to hammer out in an hour.
That would take a while.
And on top of that, too, like if you're trading him to another team that doesn't currently have a coach, do they have to go through the whole interview process and the Rooney Rule and everything first?
Yeah.
Or no, because it's a trade? Like that would be another question.
In looking at the vacant spots, the places that he could land, I don't see Bill Belichick wanting to go to any of those teams.
It's 5 of them. It's Atlanta, Vegas, Carolina, the Chargers, and Washington.
Yeah, and the Chargers
Atlanta
have said
would
that
be
they
an
want
awful spot.
Harbaugh, and that Harbaugh wants to go there. Those are the reports out for the Chargers position.
Okay.
But if it's available, that's something that I think Bill would be interested in. And the owner has a good relationship with Kraft, so maybe
I'm just saying, I think in my mind, from what I've read, that they have their mind made up on the guy that they want.
Is Bill going to want to go someplace where he's already losing draft picks because wherever he's going, that team's giving up draft picks for him?
But isn't it a wait, right? If you go to a team that has a quarterback, well, you don't need the draft pick for the quarterback.
Right, but other than the Chargers, that's the only place that has a quarterback, right?
The Cowboys would be the only one if that becomes available.
Right, but that wouldn't be later until depending on how deep in the postseason they go. And if they go relatively deep, there's no guarantee.
Great question on the Subaru of New England text line, which is 37937. Find your authorized Subaru retailer at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Did you get any pastries, Coach?
No, I got no pastries. Not
Nothing?
at all. I would like some. I'm a cannoli guy.
Did you get an exit interview?
No, I would love a box.
Was it an email? Or how did they let you know?
Yeah, it was just like it was more of a in-face passing, hey, we're going in a different direction.
So it was face-to-face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like, hey,
Did you know that was the meeting you were going down there for?
No, I didn't know that. I told you my plans were moving on. Like Bill, I was ready for next season, on to 2024.
So sometimes going into these meetings, you never know.
You'll never know. It could be like, all right, I'm on a 20, and then it's like, boom, guess what? We're going in a different direction.
You know what's kind of crazy, Greg, is if you walk the halls of Brockton High School, there are original Picassos on the wall, and you wonder why they're $14 million in debt.
Well, those are nice paintings. I'd like some cannolis.
Right.
They do cannolis, though, down on the South Shore, though?
Not really.
Yeah, right.
Well, you can get them anywhere.
I don't know if you can get them anywhere, Courtney. I think it's like, I don't know if the big cannoli places down on the South Shore, but I'm a cannoli guy.
I hope this takes a month because it's good for business. Look at the
There's
Twitch
no
numbers
way,
today.
though. What would you guess the...
We get good numbers in Twitch today?
A lot of people in here. Must
right.
be a big day.
Well, hello and good morning. And
love
it
them.
is, it's fascinating.
Well, when would you say the timeline is?
I
End
don't
of the
know.
week we know something?
I don't know. I would assume we would know by the end of the week. I don't know how do you think so I think somebody in the Twitch chat called what Bill did this morning a master class in strategy because he zoomed himself in today to the media and said, I am under contract. I am going to continue to do my job. And I am pretty much willing to do whatever it takes to continue working here.
Right.
That puts it all on RKK. So, brilliant move by Bill.
Right.
Now, they get together today, and Robert Kraft is going to have to make a decision, and that decision is either keep Bill or fire Bill.
And he knows that already. I believe. Yep.
What, he knew how he felt already?
Yeah, I think so.
Then why not make that decision? Why not make that decision public?
If the decision was to fire Bill, why not give Bill like some kind of an elegant exit prior to his final game at Gillette? Why not let everybody know so they can pay their just respect to the man?
Well, if the decision was to bring him back, then why not say, hey, Bill's our guy for next year, right? I think that I told you, it seems like the decision, in my opinion, has already been made.
And what do you think that decision is?
I think that is that he's coming back and he's going to ride it out. And I don't know what the contract is, but I'm going to go with what they said, maybe one more year left. And I think they're going to sit down and basically say, all right, after this year, we'll reevaluate it and see where we are based on how the season goes. And if it doesn't go well, guess what? We go our separate ways. No egg on my face. If it goes well,
Wait,
maybe
but Wiggy,
we'll
if
extend
the
you for 2
decision was
years.
made, why wouldn't they just say we're sticking with Belichick? Why would, with all this commotion going on, why these weird leaks to the media?
Okay,
why all that? If the decision is made
All right.
one way or another, why wouldn't you just say it or do it?
Well, okay, so if the decision's not made, what's going to
No,
change?
just answer that question.
Why what? Why isn't there been any leaks?
Right. Why would you be leaking if you've already decided to retain him?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just say
Because
Belichick's
I don't
gonna be our
think
coach next year?
I don't think he wanted to leak it.
What?
Why
Who?
not though? Like if you have the decision made, if you are confident in your decision,
Yep.
you've actually made a decision,
Yep.
and Belichick's going to be back next year. Why wouldn't you just say that? And then you quell all the media commotion, all these
No,
press
because
conferences, all
Who
this
do you
stupidity.
think-
I think if you do
Wiggy,
it during the
Wiggy.
season, can I answer real quick? If you do
Yes.
it during the season, there's too many questions that come from it.
Okay, how about yesterday?
Or this morning.
Right.
Well,
do you
there's a
think-
team meeting at 9,
Right.
so they're probably in the team meeting right now.
Yeah. Who do you think leaked it after Germany?
Duncan.
There,
Well,
some
based
people-
on current,
Who do you think leaked it to Tommy Curran?
you think it was Robert?
Yes.
I'm still not 100% sold that
some
was.
people thought that he just overheard Robert being
Yeah.
frustrated about the outcome of the game and kind of ran with
I
it.
Right,
don't-
but all
I
Tom
don't think
Curran
that
has
was
to do
even
is
real.
correct the record.
Right, but I don't think that was even a real leak.
But you agree
I
that there has
personally-
been a nonstop stream of leaks against Bill Belichick.
No,
this
there's
year.
been one that I've heard.
Did you read the Herald in the story?
The one that leak I heard is Tommy Curran saying that they've made their
Right. Did
decision.
you read the Herald story last
No,
week?
what was the Herald story?
Ken sent it to everyone.
We
What
talked,
was
we,
this-
we talked
Didn't
about it
read
on the
that
show
email
Friday.
from Ted.
What was it?
About
Was
all the dysfunction.
Yeah, the dysfunction, but there was no leak of the Patriots are going in a different direction.
No, there was it was a leak about how bad Bill Belichick has been and where the organization has devolved to under his tutelage.
Right, but we're talking about the leak of the team moving on from Bill.
We're talking about
No,
what
that's what I'm
Shime is
talking about.
mentioning that
I
there
know,
has been
I'm
a
not-
steady, there has been a steady stream of negative information
Yes.
leaked out of the organization
Yeah,
to the
we
media.
know that.
If they are retaining Bill Belichick, why not stop that and just say he's coming back?
Because I told you that I think if you say it during the season,
Not during the season, yesterday or this morning.
all right. 'Cause I think yesterday and this morning they are meeting, team meetings, all the exit meetings with the players, the coaches. They'll meet
So
today.
you think the players will have a rebellion against the decision? And
No,
they-
I think that there'll be a lot more questions asked.
I also think that the players should know before any of us. Like
Well,
I do
you could
think
tell
it-
the players yesterday. What's the downside?
You
Because
think-
there's too much of an issue.
With what? The season's over.
They have a big team meeting today at 9. They're probably wrapping that up now.
Hey,
If Bill
let me
Belichick-
give him a look in the world of what it looks like, Courtney,
Okay.
because he has no clue. So you think they're just going to grab guys as they come off the field and go, hey, guess what? Bill's coming back. Bill's coming back. Bill, no,
Was everybody in one place around 4 yesterday?
but not after the end of the game. They're not going to do it.
Why?
Because they don't do it
They're
that
not
way.
saying anything to the players today about Bill's future. This is like their goodbye meeting.
Right, he's under
This is
contract.
their exit meeting.
Yeah.
So Courtney said
if they're
9
parting
p.m.
ways, no, 9 a.m.
9 a.m., excuse me, 9 a.m.
If they're parting ways, I think that the players find out
Well,
today.
but again, Bill
Are there more
Belichick.
questions to the players today not knowing Bill than knowing Bill?
And Courtney, you're right.
Greg?
If you're
But-
parting ways, they'd find out.
Yes,
Greg,
Curtis.
Is there? If we're talking about the distraction for a team that season's over, but just following along with this logic, are there more questions to the players about the future if Bill's future is in doubt, or if Robert Kraft says he's the coach?
It would the not the latter.
Right.
It would yes.
But either
Okay.
way, I think that the players deserve to know.
They would
But
find out
players
today.
don't find out when a coach
No,
gets
no.
fired before everybody
Yes,
else.
they do. Because when I was in Minnesota after the season, after the last game, we met in the. I had the Monday morning meeting, and basically he was like, "They're moving on from me."
When did they tell the entire Falcons team that Arthur Smith was getting canned?
I don't know. I mean,
Arthur Smith got canned at
no,
like
I mean,
midnight
not
last
everybody
night.
does it though. But I'm saying I've been around where the coach Mike Tice told us in the meeting the next day on a Monday.
and it's Bill Belichick. Like, it's not Arthur Smith. I don't know. If you're playing for the legendary coach that is Bill Belichick, I think you deserve to know what the future is of Bill before any of the media. And while I would love to know, I also don't think Robert Kraft owes us anything. Like, it's so crazy to me that we're just fighting over Bill Belichick, who got up there today, was very clear and concise on the fact that he's under contract. He has meetings, probably a few meetings with Robert Kraft to wrap up the season. And it's just no different than what we've seen for the last 20 years when it comes to Bill and Robert and their communication with the media.
But then why can't Robert just tell us that?
You asked the question. So then if they don't know, what is today going to tell us, or the next couple of days?
If who doesn't know?
If Robert doesn't know what he's going to do.
Robert knows what he's going to do.
Well,
didn't I just say that?
Yeah.
Did I literally just say
Yes.
That he's not going to retain Bill Belichick.
Did I? I didn't say
you
whether or
guys
not he's
disagree.
going to keep him or not. I said
said he's made- yeah, he knows.
the decision has been made. Did I not just say that?
Right. We were discussing the point.
No. Did I just not say, Courtney?
You did.
Am I going
What is
crazy
going
here?
on?
No, you
you're
did say
getting
that.
all worked up.
Because I'm dealing with idiocy. I literally just said, I believe the decision has been made.
Right.
And then we went in a back and forth of, well, how do you know the decision's made? You and
Okay,
Shime.
You said the decision has been made and he's being retained. And what Shime and I said, if that's the case, why are they continuing to allow him to twist in the
Okay.
right?
Why wouldn't Robert whisper to somebody, I've made my decision? He could have done it any time in the last month. Whisper to somebody that he has made his decision and that Bill is staying.
Can I give a spin zone?
Yeah.
What if Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick are like, I'd rather them be talking about us and whether or not they're going to keep me around instead of talking about how terrible this team is, about the talent on the field. Well, this is better. We know what's going on behind the scenes. Let's have them all speculate if I'm going to be back next year, and less about how terrible the product on the field we put out there for the season ticket holders and the people that are paying a month's rent to try to go see them play. How bad that is.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, then can I ask Shime and Curtis this question? If you believe, both of you guys believe the decision's been made.
I never said that. He said that. I don't believe the decision.
Okay, so if
necessarily
Curtis-
been made at
Boston
this
accent
point.
came out there.
If Curtis believes that the decision has been made to move on, then why not just fire him?
Because Robert Kraft cares deeply about what the public thinks of him. He wants to be viewed as someone who's ruminating over this, who's not deciding in a harsh, quick manner to fire someone who's brought 6 Super Bowls here. He will not be fired on Black Monday. They will not do him the disservice of being fired just like every other head coach today. It will be done later in the week, and he will attempt to convince the public that this is the last thing he wanted to do, but he was forced here because of where the team has gone.
So if you
but he
believe,
can't do that any longer after this morning.
Right.
right?
I think he wanted to go into this meeting and the two of them would find a way to spin it as if they both made a
Mutual decision.
cohesive mutual decision on Bill departing. Right. Bill made it impossible for that to happen this morning, and it's pure brilliance.
Right, and if Robert really didn't want it spun in a negative way, then I would ask Curtis, well, why didn't Robert come out and poo-poo the report that whether it was the Tommy Curran or yesterday was
He
it
gave that poop. He gave that leak.
Jay Glazier, and why not say this is not true? We're going to have a conversation about Bill's future after the season's over.
Right. They came from Robert because he's been trying to smear a guy he knows he's going to fire. It's the oldest trick in the book. The Red Sox have been doing it for a generation.
So then why not fire him before the guy gets an opportunity to give his story?
Because he wants the perception. I just answered that
But the
question.
perception doesn't make sense when Bill has an opportunity to give his side of the story.
I don't think he knew necessarily what Bill was going to say today, and maybe Bill. Every time Bill has been asked over the last couple of months about his future, he says, "I'm not talking about it."
Right.
And I'll get to it. So maybe Robert Kraft expected that was what Bill Belichick was going to say this morning.
But why roll the
But Bill
dice
didn't.
on that? If you're the owner, but it doesn't make sense. If you're the owner of this team, why would you potentially put the ball in the guy's hands at the end of the season for him to say, I want to come back? And now you're going, well, wait a second. That doesn't fit my narrative of me looking like the good guy.
It's because he was lured into the honey trap. Bill lured him into the honey trap of thinking he was never
Too
going to say
soon.
anything, and then he brought up the contract.
I mean, the reason is what I've just said 6 different times.
No, you didn't say anything.
The organization, led by Robert Kraft,
Yep.
does not want to be viewed as making a rash decision with the most successful coach in NFL history.
Okay.
Therefore, they gave Bill the floor, like they have done every other year, for him to meet the media after the conclusion of the season. Following that, Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick confirmed that he will have a meeting with Robert Kraft following his stuff today. And this week, Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick will iron out a divorce, whether that is a trade to another team, whether it's
too late, Curtis.
This already makes Kraft look bad.
Right.
Like,
It's
the more
too
you delay
Bingo.
firing
I'm
him,
not
makes him
saying
look bad.
I would have done it this way.
Right, but
I'm explaining why he is.
but your way of explaining it.
Listen, Bill has painted Robert Kraft into a corner. He did it extraordinarily well, and the answer is now that there's going to be a GM. I'm firmly convinced that Bill will accept some kind of a
nothing
GM.
will change.
So
and it'll be a
everybody on the
5-win
show-
team next year.
Yes.
Okay, fine, Shime. I think you get a quarterback and an offensive line and
Get
somebody
Marvin
to
Harrison Jr.
throw the ball to, and
So
you got a pretty
Bill
good
was
football
painting
team.
the GM situation weeks ago on our show.
Yes, he was.
So he
was.
started putting that in everybody's
Right.
ear back
Yeah.
then, and now it's
Yeah.
going. He's been on board
Remember,
with
he
this
said
and
it's
that.
very difficult
Yeah.
to do both
Yes.
on this very show.
Yeah, but he also said, I have final say. So if Bill retains final say, nothing changes.
Right, so the 3 of you think Bill's back as the head coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do, Curtis. I really do.
Wow.
There's too much egg on
I
his
don't know.
face now.
You still think he's gone?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you a little bit less confident in that take than you were?
I've never been more confident in anything.
He should have just fired him today.
But that's kind of an overstatement because I'm never confident, so
He
take
should
that
have.
for what it's worth.
He should have just did what Washington did, fired him today, and then Bill wouldn't have the opportunity to talk. And when he did talk, it would have been too late.
I need to know what Foyer thinks. Is Foyer here? Get him in here for the cross.
Okay.
I need Foyer's opinion on this. We'll get to that coming up next.